Cheers, everybody. Welcome in to another Thursday night beer session. Tonight we're going to be doing a beer examination of Boulevard. Stuff of Legends, 13.3%, 20 IBUs. Here accompanied with Bumpy Road and East Coast LQ reviews. Been looking forward to this one. Go ahead and pop over to the chat. Cheers to you, drunk one. Commerce Ozzy and Sean the Bond. So, yeah, I don't know how you guys exactly want to do this. I guess just pour up like we usually do. I don't have anybody waiting to get into this.
I've been waiting for this.
When we're doing beer exams, kind of weird. I don't want to just do a circle rundown, but yeah, let's go ahead and show our bottles off.
It's been 2 weeks since my last Boulevard, so.
Tanner's got his. Bumpy's has the same date as mine. Mine says enjoyed by September 23, 2023.
That's what mine says too.
So, the same batch, bottle. Cool. So, yeah, I guess this is supposed to be, it's a barrel-aged stout with vanilla and cacao nibs. That's all it says.
Now, what do you guys think the temperature of yours is? So that
I just took mine out of the fridge for about
15
20 minutes ago.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
judging by how cold it is, it's probably about 38 degrees.
Mine's probably room temperature.
60, 65, yeah. I'm going in. My turkey fell apart. My plastic fell off. I gotta get a new one.
Why Fireball makes a bottle opener, I don't know, but Fireball bottle opener.
People buy gimmicky things.
They do.
Actually, it was gifted to me for my book.
Oh, yeah.
Free.
It's a dark. Mine's kind of got a reddish hue to it, but it's sizzly and crackly, and it ain't gonna last. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, not as sizzly and crackly as like a sour would be, but
yeah, might hang around.
My head looks a bit darker than yours, but it is also a thinner head. That's
listen to the beer. Yeah, there's a little bit of like a ruby tint at the bottom. Definitely more motor oil black in appearance.
Yeah. Get some hue at the bottom, slight bit.
Slightly rocky head, kind of. Brown. Yeah, mine's still holding. I did
my first impression on the aromas. You get the barrel age, and there's plum. That was my first whiff. Those are the first two notes I picked up.
Yeah, it's not. It seems like it's lost some of the pizzazz.
Yeah, actually, it might be raisin. I think it's raisin over plum. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see raisin.
Molasses. I do get a bit of vanilla. It does remind me a bit of the Oreo stuffing.
Brown sugar molasses.
Yeah. Getting chocolate, roast, oak, slight bit of alcohol. The vanilla to me is not as upfront as it was. I don't know.
I get it out of my left nostril, not my right.
The alcohol?
The vanilla.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe this wasn't the best one to hold on to.
Mine, I'm not really getting any booze on the aroma.
It's still it smells great. I think the bourbon barrel age is.
Yeah, it's definitely very whiskey reminiscent.
All right. I'm gonna dive in. Cheers, guys.
All right, cheers.
Yeah, the flavors are coming through pretty strong.
Mine is so rich.
I feel like mine's off. Might be like oxidized.
I'm getting that burn. Almost no chill to it. I'm getting that burn.
I'm already going to put it out there that I like it more than KBS. Sure.
Yeah, dude. I was not impressed with this year's KBS at all. I gave it 90. Definitely getting the alcohol oak. Vanilla's definitely. See, I'm picking up way more on the palate than I did on the nose of this. The legs are pretty good for this. It sticks around.
Yeah. So it's got like, it kind of has the chocolate wafer, but it's more of like that chocolate wafer was like a dark chocolate wafer.
Yeah. Wouldn't say milk chocolate though. Yeah. I'd say maybe more on the semi-sweet, leaning towards the dark chocolate.
I do get a little bit of like a green apple flavor. That's probably coming from the barrel.
I just kind of got a whiff of that.
Does it say
Like
how
a
long
Granny Smith.
Yeah.
Does it say how long it was put in the barrel for? Like if you
I don't think they're really but you know what? I could pull their website up. We can look. I don't even know if it's still on there.
with vanilla and cocoa flavors. So they're actually putting cocoa in it. It's not just chocolate malts or whatever.
Share the screen. Tab. Here we go. Yes, indeed. I am over 21 years old. All right. So, yeah. Homage to wonderful cookies, blah, blah, blah. I very seriously doubt they're going to tell you.
What was that? Does it say it has lactose in it? Creamy filling of lactose. I did not know that it had lactose in it.
Yeah, that's it.
So no age.
These guys are pretty. They don't tell you a lot.
Yeah.
Like we can even go back.
I'm gonna say based off of the way the barrel's coming through
advocate.
that it's probably at least in there for a year.
In decent time, yeah.
There you go. You're getting the malt buildup of here. Pale, dark crystal brown, rye crystal Cura, 300 Cura 50, chocolate, midnight wheat, oats, Columbus hops, cacao, vanilla, and bourbon barrels for the adjuncts. It's active beer. So according to here, 92. Let's see about that. We'll give one more peek at Untapped, just for good measure. Oh, goddamn the ads. Terrible. Same information. Same information. And they gave it a even 4 on there. So,
It's funny you said apple. I kind of noticed an apple. Mine's very warm too. So
yeah.
A lot of the
I'm sure you're getting a lot of flavors.
I was gonna say it's kind of just like
okay, I found it. Boulevard.com, beer info, stuff of legends. Yes, I'm 21. Of course, I click on the site though, and then I can't find it. Tasting. Okay, here it is. You were actually on the same thing, miscellaneous. You just had to scroll down further.
Oh. Lazy scrolling.
Yeah, the bourbon courtesy of more than a year of barrel aging.
The note is very dominant on the flavor.
Yeah,
I can pick it up instantaneously. It's
now,
good though. It's sweet. It's not like over char or anything like that either. Not smoky.
When I first had this beer, not to interrupt you, my bad. What were you saying?
No, you're good.
When I first had this beer, the flavor up front, don't get me wrong, I thought it tasted really good. And I was like, oh, it doesn't taste like Oreo. And then it sits on your tongue, and then you kind of like get that aftertaste, and you're like, there's the Oreo. You know,
I definitely get like the Oreo cookiness of it.
Excited, disappointed, and then excited again.
Yeah, it's just like I kind of get it. It's like slightly there. So I mean, it's not overly. It's like just a really good barrel aged, like chocolatey type stout. And then there's like a nuance on the finish as you just let your palate rest of the Oreo type.
If you remember, I know you and John had a decent amount to drink before I showed up. Would you say that this is comparable in flavor to this lumber I had you try by Proclamation? I thought so. What do you think, if you can recall? That barrel-aged stout. It was pretty good.
I think this is way better than that.
Yeah, for sure. But
I can't really remember exactly what that one tastes like. I do recall that I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and Nelly, you know, I think he enjoyed it.
I think that was 10% too. So this is obviously going to be a little bit fuller body, more rich in flavor. And I don't think they use I think Woodford Reserve barrels for that one. So I wonder who they're using for their barrel source. It's always cool to know. Maybe probably Heaven Hill or something.
They're in Kansas City, Missouri. I mean, who knows, man? There's a lot of stuff around there.
Yeah, Heaven Hill's usually the big barrel guy that sells a lot of barrels to people, especially beer people.
I mean, me, I definitely get. I'd say it's full-bodied, viscous, sticky.
Stick,
but it is the mouth feels good.
Not quite.
No, you definitely get. There is some sweetness, but yeah, I definitely feel where you're at. There's enough. It's balanced enough.
There's a baker's chocolate bitterness on the finish for me.
What I like about it is
a little bit of that oak tannin type thing too.
There's I think we all can agree on this. There's a light coffee flavor, little touch coffee. It's not. What do you guys always say? Acrid, right?
Yeah, it's a roasty, toasty.
I definitely get roast, and I do pick up some like some barrel, like some good. I wouldn't say smoky's not the right word, or like char isn't the right word. I'm getting there's an oakiness that's playing in with that roasty malt, and I can see the coffee coming through. That's good. I get like it almost right before like the finish when you take it down, your palate dries off first. It almost gives like one of those port wine type of. You know, there's a sweetness there, and it's different, and it's more like a wine like quality to it, and it's quick and it's sharp, and you get it, but then it goes quick too.
Now,
almost like a sweet dark fruit type of thing.
Is this an American barrel or a bourbon barrel they're using? Like an American whiskey, or does it actually say what kind of whiskey that the barrel was? It just says
this is barrel aged out on the barrel on the bottle for me.
No, when I was looking at it, didn't mention what barrel it was. It just said more than a year of aging in a bourbon barrel.
Yeah, because the bourbon barrels always have a little bit of char to them, so you could get a little bit of that smoky char-like flavor if it is a bourbon barrel, but you know.
Yeah, see, like I don't know. It's like the roast, like it's hard to say because you know they have the stages. This isn't like a charred fucking alligator char barrel. You know what I mean? It's not smoky or like that, but I don't know. It's just a slight the nuances I can get from the toastiness from the barrel. You get the vanilla, which is different from the added vanilla that you're getting. You know, it's like two-toned almost.
So what's the price point on this, anyways? Since I can purchase,
I think I paid.
I got
$17 to $18 for a 4-pack.
I got mine. I don't think they priced it correctly. Mine was like $15 for a 4.
Yeah, he got a good deal.
$15 for a 4-pack. I remember I sent him the picture. I was like, 15 for a 4-pack. He's like, oh yeah, do that, and I grabbed it.
I would, dude, I would buy it for that price all day. And you know, some people sleep on Boulevard, but I think their barrel aged lineups that they're doing they're not pussyfooting around. They know what they're doing, even though they're not. I mean, they're not independently craft owned. I can't remember who exactly owns it. I think it's Oscar Blues and them, right? Same company that owns Oscar Blues, or it's the fuck. Let's look it up. Let's not talk out of our ass.
You know what's funny too? I will say,
Great
if you handed this to somebody in like a cup or something where they couldn't see, and you told them not to look at it and just say, hey, smell this. What is this? it smells like a whiskey. Like,
Oh, they're owned by Duvel.
Nice.
Yeah,
So they're
USA LDT.
That means 6 point, right? 6 point.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I thought they were
we get
lumped
6
up
point
with
up
those
here,
in
so I don't
order.
know why.
I don't.
Should be able to get this stuff.
I wish you could, and I'm glad I could send it to you. I gave you everything.
I got a few more
everything that
bottles
was
of the other
everything that was worth checking out from them. I mean, their basic stuff is even good. Their regular shelfie beers are good if you find them in date, like their IPA. Was it the Dark Truth or whatever? It's a good one. I just had a bunch of limited release stuff. I could hook you up. John and Ellie, I think, can get it where he's at.
are you guys getting
Instead he gets
marshmallow?
Boulevard.
What now?
I think that
Marshmallow?
this almost has a s'mores-esque type of thing,
Yeah.
but not.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I was getting a
No
little
graham. I'm not getting like graham cracker, but the chocolate
Yeah,
vanilla.
definitely not graham cracker. There's no cinnamon spice or anything.
No, it's just like chocolate vanilla.
But it is kind of like a chocolatey marshmallow. The only reason why I kind of thought about that is because it does kind of have the aroma of the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. It's kind of similar.
Hell yeah, how's he do it?
Ooh, peanut butter.
Said it was a letdown. Needs peanut butter whiskey.
Oh. Hey, if you like peanut butter beer, that left hand peanut butter nitro, I believe it's called, peanut butter nitro, whatever. That beer,
milk stout.
that tastes like brownies and peanut butter. That's a good one. I would check that out.
Got a little bit of it. This beer is very complex, and that's why I like this series. Like their limited release, they came. Oh, and I guess I would say when the pandemic hit, and like I guess they might not have been doing a lot of sales at the brewery, they just dropped big beer after big beer after big beer barrel age right at a boom, 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 and there was so much that came out within the past year and a half from them. That was good. I mean, just I don't know. Once you understand the barrel aging process and you get your barrels from the right source, that can change things up for you. Yeah, I tried one of those.
Did you like it? I haven't tried it yet.
Not gonna tell you. I'll watch you drink one in a little bit.
All right.
I felt bumpy about it.
And here's the thing too about like reviewing beers and putting scores to them is you have certain beers and you're like, oh wow, this is fantastic, I really like, and you score it, and then you come across something else that's like even better, and you're like, wow, this is even better than the other one, and you score it, but you kind of squeeze yourself, and it's like, where do you actually score something?
That's what I've been trying.
And it's like better than certain ones I've scored pretty high, but it's not as good as ones I've scored pretty high as well. So it's kind of in that.
Leave yourself a slimmer area to.
Yeah, there's like so it might end up matching up scores with other ones I've scored that it actually is better than.
This is your first time trying this, Bumpy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I know me and Miscellaneous have had it before, right? You've had it before.
Bumpy doesn't get any Boulevard where he lives.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You sent him the package. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I've been trying, like I said, I've been trying to, like, I don't mind scoring back. Like, even if I think it's in the over 95 range, I'll still pull it back to right around there. It's because it just leaves you a lot more room. 2 points can make a big difference, like the other night with the toppling Goliath. It's like it's a really good beer, but it's 2 points that's a big jump in the gap. It's a lot of wiggle room.
But you may never have another beer that's good. You don't know what each day is going to be.
Yeah.
You don't know. If you're. So that's why I don't know. I think you can.
I like the serving. I like the serving size on this too. The 12 ounces.
100.
Yeah, that's for sure. 12 ounces is a good.
I think this is great because they do put their bigger products out in smaller, more manageable beer size. 750 of this would be a lot.
Yeah,
it would exhaust your palate. You'd just be like tired of drinking it.
That's like CBS. You know, the bomber one. It's like it's a great beer, very good. Once you get through that whole bottle of beer, you're like, oh,
it's like buying a 40 and
yeah,
we're gonna be. You know what you're getting into when you buy something like that, though. When you have the intentions to sit down, like a 500 is not even bad, but it's when you start getting that 750 mil range, it's like that's a lot of beer. 500 mils at 22 ounces is a fair bit. I mean, that's a pint,
especially when they're
pint and 6 ounces, almost a pint in a glass.
If you drink a 750 of this,
that'd be it. That'd be your last beer. Cheers, Bounty.
13.3.
Here's the square table. What's up, Joey? Cheers to you, Bounty. Yeah, so I can definitely say that once it's warmed up, I'm starting to get a little bit more of the umami stout flavors, like aromas. I'm getting more leather. It's mild. It's not too heavy. Almost hitting that point where it could go soy sauce. Like you can go from sweet to the really oaky. I mean, I get it all the time. Like the Goose Island, some of these big beers like this, they do. Like once they get to the end and you're getting like down, it like flip flops. It goes from sweet to savory umami, and you're just like, whoa, that's totally different. Smoky tones come out.
I'm actually having. This is my first beer. I worked like almost 11 hours today, and I came home, took a nap. First beer. I'm having trouble not finishing it.
I told you.
It's 13.3.
I took a nap today too. I talked to Bumpy. I said, I bet he's passed out.
Not mad.
It's all good.
Yeah, and then
getting that
you
good
come on
sleep.
and blame it on your computer.
No. I did turn my computer off, and then when my computer comes back on, it's like everything's trying to come on at once. Friggin' Adobe, Discord, Twitch, Steam. It's just 7 different applications trying to pull up on the computer.
So,
I will say, this is one of those beers where some people could be offended by it because of the complexity, if that makes any sense. There's so much going on. There's so many different flavors. Not that, in my opinion, I don't think there's anything offensive, but it is one of those beers that people's opinions could definitely be different.
Oh, I definitely could see people being skewed on their thoughts of this because they're owned by. They're not independent, this and that, but I mean, it's like you could put this beer in the lineup with some of those big hitters, dude, and they can run it, and I don't think score terribly. I mean, I've seen people drink some.
Yeah, this beer is so influenced.
Some Trillium stats. I had the one that was really good, and some of these higher name companies and stuff, and that. Some of them ain't that good. That's the hard thing, man. Couldn't find your bottle.
Fuck your life, bing bong.
Couldn't find my bottle.
So here's my wife's score on this.
After
one smell and one sip, she went, it's okay.
That's not bad. Take okay. For somebody who doesn't drink 13.3% barrel aged stats, that's not a bad opinion.
Dude, it smells and tastes like whiskey. Like you could hand this to somebody without them seeing like the appearance, just sipping it. You would think this was like a low-proofed whiskey. I don't know, maybe it's the age to it, or maybe it's because of how warm mine is, but it really is very reminiscent of whiskey.
I'm picking it up now, like on the finish, like undertones of alcohol, like vapor evaporating off the bottom. You can feel it like going across the tongue into the sinus. It's not, like I said, it's not overwhelming. It just it lets you, when you sip it, it lets you know. You're not like, ooh man, ooh, it's the alcohol shooter, or
I am starting to get that cat tongue though. Kind of scratchy.
Anony type of. I can feel that coming on at the end. I think I think that's a big play on like the barrels and how much. Oh boy. Josh got the crazy ass comments, dude. Like when you get them out, like barrel aged beers out of the more fresh barrels, I definitely feel it changes the mouthfeel. This isn't as. What was that beer I had? Was it yesterday or the day before? And it just was, you could feel it like barrel aged beer and you could feel it. It was like, it was gritty, like powdery, but it wasn't. Like, dries your tongue out. You feel like it gets, I don't know. Like when you get that real bad cotton mouth, you're like, it's like.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Well, I mean, I get cotton mouth when I'm at work, dehydrated, and I haven't drank water in 5-6 hours. You're sweating, just completely pouring sweat, and you freaking haven't ate or drank anything in 6 hours, and you're stuck at a store. Mouth's just, you know? It's actually my first time doing an examination with these guys. I don't think I've done. Yeah, this is my first time.
I think as it warms, a bit of alcohol does really start to
It comes out. It comes to light. I don't feel like it's offensive. It just the flavor becomes more dominant. It's more out in front. The adjuncts are kind of in the back.
Yeah,
it's turns
still vanilla. I get the vanilla, nice oaky, slight sweetness, but it's dry.
Turns into a sipper.
Dry.
Yeah, there is a good amount of astringency on this one. It's just so sweet though. It's got a lot of sweetness. We'll say caramel, molasses, brown sugar, vanilla. Like I said, it almost reminds me of marshmallow. The sweetness.
Glass stainer.
What's that?
I said this could be one of those ones that stains your glass. You hit the swirl and like that stuff hangs on. You could see the brown hue coming off of it. It sits for a bit. I mean, I've got sticky caramelized stuff at the top. It's like solidifying in the air with that.
Yeah.
I like it, man. You guys think you final notes and maybe score? I've only got a little bit left.
I've only got a little
That'll
bit.
That'll go quick.
I savor it.
Are you?
That's the problem with the small bottle is when you do want more.
I can't get any more. Maybe if I have to go searching.
Yeah, I bought it that day.
This came out a while ago. That's good. It says active on Beer Advocate, so they're still brewing it. When they'll bottle it again, that could be a question. They put out, like I said, they put out so much product, so I guarantee you what they did is they're going back, checking out the feedback. Yeah, buy one off Tanner. He's
got one more.
But I'm sure that what they did, they put out all those different barrel-aged beers, and they switched some styles. They went for rye ale. They made a few off the beat beers. That Sugarland Baklava, that was a different one from them. Trying good
Coming
beer.
Up next
That's
week.
Good beer. I like that. I still have one of those. Every beer that I sent you, Bumpy, I have a double of. I still got all the Brewer's Choice, each one in there.
I think I've got.
Did you drink the quad yet? The 6 glass?
I don't think so. Maybe I have.
I've made it a point to send you that because that's the German style beer.
Yeah, I think I have 3 left. Instead of guessing, let me.
Oh, Ozzy wants a power hour next week. We could do that.
I got 3 left. So I have the sixth left. I've got the 5 bourbon barrel.
I like that. I like the
And I've
spin
got the
one.
proper pour.
Nice. I made it a point to go out and get that 6 glass for you because there was some singles still floating around, and it was the quad. It was the barrel aged quad.
Nice.
I was like,
Yeah, we could do.
If there's anybody that's gonna appreciate this one, it'll be Bumpy. Just for the style, it's different from because
I'll get my special Belgian glass out for it.
There you go.
Do you still have the Nemesis? Do you have the Nemesis?
I can get one at a place. They have them.
Yeah, that's the other one.
I think John and Ellie said he can still score them too. So
I have 3 of those.
you should get with John and Ellie and have them get 2 of those, and then all 4 of us could sit down and try it. Well, over a year later.
I tried it when it first came out, and it was like
It's the bitterest fucking beer I ever had.
bitter. Yeah, it's very, very bitter.
Like if you just took like hot pellets and chucked them in your mouth and chew them up, that's about what it was. That's just
It's hard to.
Me and Bumpy had it. It was 2 weeks old in the bottle, and that was greenest fucking beer I've ever had.
That's I will say now. It's funny that we were just saying that. Okay, so that beer is like the bitterness is so hard to get past to the other flavors. This is so well balanced that like the sweetness, yes, it's very sweet, but it's still
He's got 2.
It's still sweet and balanced enough to where you can notice the other different flavors in the beer. Sometimes beers are just kind of like a roller coaster, and like especially when they're warm or whatever stuff like this, it's usually like, you know, freaking a whirlpool of flavors. You know, it's up and down, it's up and down, it's very spiky. This, it just seems like whatever way you kind of look at it, you can pick up different notes, and they don't really clash with one another. They definitely just kind of balance very well together. We'll say that, like the sweet,
a lot of
darkness, all the different kind of aspects of a barrel-aged imperial stout. I think they did it. Overall, I think they did a good job with this one, for sure.
You know, I get like prunes and dates, slight tobacco, like the prune, like stewed prune note almost gives me like the smell of that reminds me of like a Redman or Levi Garrett, like chew prunes does, which leads to tobacco, which it kind of makes sense. Not like a dry tobacco, like a wet tobacco. I bet it doesn't now, Ozzy. I don't know. I had that beer almost fresh off the line, and
yeah.
Ooh. Me and Bumpy probably both had heartburn.
Right?
That beer fresh. If you had acid reflux or anything like that, heartburn issues, you ruin your night. Oh, so it was like I don't know, bitter, high, like I guess acidity in the high. I don't know how that works. It's just, I liked it though. Beat the Bigfoot after a year. 2021 Bigfoot versus Nemesis after a year. Nemesis won. Bigfoot lost. So, well, I feel comfortable enough to score my beer. Stuff of Legends for me. I'm going to put this at a 96. It's very good. I love the presence of the barrel. I honestly do want to give this a higher score, but like I said, I've been trying to rein it in a little because exactly like what Bumpy said, you start saying a couple things and you pinch yourself off in this little gap of where it gets to so minuscule of a scale where you feel like you're cutting people's throats. I feel comfortable at 96. I think most people, if they had this and they enjoy big barrel-aged stouts and you're going to drink this over a half hour to a 45-minute period, it's great beer. Mm-hmm. Hands down, man. Boulevard is, for the macro craft side, these dudes are knocking out of the park. Fucking love them. And that's why I pick them up. Everybody's like, oh, you drink the Boulevard? Well, yeah. You can't buy this in the grocery store. I'll tell you that. At least not where I live. They don't sell it in the grocery store. You have to go to an actual bottle shop to purchase these things. So
if you had a group of friends that drank beer like this, and maybe like every once in a while you didn't get hammered or whatever, you just kind of sat down and had some stuff like this. If you could buy a single, right, a 4-pack. You can give a single to each of your buddies. You guys could literally sit here and talk about this beer for an hour.
35 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it's definitely, this is a perfect beer for examination, is what I'm saying. Perfect beer for examination. I could see people really enjoying this, and this is definitely a what do they call that? A conversation piece. What do they call that?
Stuff of legends.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a beer that you could for sure examine, and you get a lot of different opinions. It's I do enjoy it.
I like it. It's an open discussion. Do you taste this? Because this is what I get. And like I just said to Ozzy, you know, everybody's palate's different.
Yeah.
But I will put this up to, there's something with the cask. I do get that sharp. It almost hits like cherry, like a dark cherry sweetness with that wine, like that. I don't know if it's a port barrel, or a sherry barrel, but it's like I said, you get it at that one spot right before the palate when you drink it, and then your tongue starts to dry off. There's a sweet, slight tartness to it, and I think it's out of this world. I just think, like, good beer for everyday, non-independent.
For the rating, I'm gonna give it a 98. I really like this beer. I know I try to stay away from the 98 to 100 range, but this beer to me, I do like it. It's very reminiscent of whiskey, as you guys can tell. You know, I do really enjoy whiskey, and I've had some barrel-aged imperial stouts. I will say that this one is the closest to tasting like an actual whiskey. And also, like I said, I got a little bit of that marshmallow. It's got that sweetness, but it's not overly sweet to the point where it's hard to drink. This whole time I've been trying to calm down on drinking it because it tastes really good. You know, it's like, it's not one of those barrel-aged imperial stouts where it's hard to get through. This is one that you want to keep drinking. Sometimes they're a little filling. For some reason, maybe, like I said, maybe it's just because it's my first beer of the day, but this is a perfect dessert beer. I do like it. 13.3%. Once you get past that initial burn on the first couple of sips, sweetness and all the other complex flavors kind of take over, and you don't really notice that. And also you start to sip it a little bit slower. You know, you kind of want to enjoy it and not chug it, not go through it too quick. When you do that, you know, you really those complex flavors really start to develop, and you notice little tiny different things. So yeah, 98 for me. I really enjoy this, and I'm glad I got another one because I want to do a video on my channel. So,
there you go.
Good for you, Tanner. Good for you.
Show
up. Yeah.
You drank all.
I would score it. No, I'm thinking like what I was talking about earlier about there's certain beers that you have, and when you have them, if you haven't had something that's to that level, it's like, wow, this is this level. But then you start having other beers sometimes that are like, wait, if that was to this level, this is like beyond that, and then you get that squeeze room. It's like, you know, I can't be that gym teacher. You got to give it 110%. You know. So years ago, I would have put the regular KBS, the original, not all the variants that
the brown label before.
But yeah, the original one, you know, back when it was a big thing, it was just basically KBS and in Bourbon County. You know, I think I scored like the KBS right around like a 97 or so. And I think this is better than the KBS, but I've had other beers that are better than this beer, in my own opinion, that are barrel aged. I mean, you got to keep it. It's not like I'm comparing this to like an IPA. IPAs are different, so you got different categories to score different classes. Now there's also different types of bourbon barrel aged stuff. You know, there's that the bourbon barrel aged and barley wine one coming up. I mean, that's kind of like a very strange blend. So it's kind of on its own playing field, you know.
Cuvée in a bottle,
yeah. So with scoring it, it's kind of, I'm thinking of where is it on its own terms. Like, it wouldn't be fair to compare like a standard imperial stout to a barrel aged imperial stout just because there's that extra oomph, you know. It's like allowing one group to take steroids and the other group not take steroids and then go out there and play sports together. It's just not fair.
Yeah,
there's a possibility that they could still win, but it's just not fair. So I'd probably end up knocking the regular KBS down to like maybe around a 93 out of 100, and I'm going to put this one at a 96 out of 100.
All right. That's how I feel. Like I said, it's good. It's a good quality product, and if you get distro on it, it is readily available 9 times out of 10. Boulevard's the one that they put it out there, a little bit like Oscar Blues. You know, they have good distro.
Does it say,
you can buy Oscar Blues, I think, in the grocery store. This you can.
Does it say the month they released it? You guys see that by any chance?
I'd have to say this wasn't.
Because they might do one again this year, but who knows?
Like I said, it still said active. It was an active beer, and it's still on their website. So maybe they're not.
What I would say is, it's probably released in September, because they don't go by like a month; they'll go by like a year when they have a Best Buy date. If it's Best Buy 2023, and this is a 2021 release, it was probably released in September of 2021, which would put it at
2 years for the
2-year basically
shelf life, or Best Buy.
Yeah, it was 2 to 3. I think they do on some of them. This shelf life. This company cuts their bottle life, I guess, short on their labels. I'm sure this would hold up for 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't think you would have an issue.
So they want you to drink it and buy more.
That's just like every beer company. So yeah, that's great. We had great scores across the board. 96 for me, 96 for Bumpy, 98 for Tanner. Fantastic stuff. We'll go ahead and we'll do shout outs. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up, guys. So Bumpy, you can go ahead and.
All right. Yeah, I got 50-point inspection videos. I put those out Wednesdays and Fridays. Another outdoors one coming out tomorrow. So if you like seeing me outside, then got another one tomorrow. 50-point inspection videos are my beer reviews, basically. On Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I have a live stream. It is called New Brew. So just bring a beer that you've never had before to join up on panel. And then I just ask, because it is a portion of the show, for people to bring questions. If nobody's bringing a question, I'm trying to think of questions while I'm doing this all the time. But if there's somebody in the panel that wants to ask a question of the rest of the panel members, or if there's somebody in the chat, you guys have a question to throw it out, and it may end up as part of the show. So check that out if you wish on Monday. I will shout out Alex's Food Friday. I guess I'll do that one. Did Bearman yesterday. So Alex's Food Friday is on Alex and Beer Masters channel. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern time, Friday night. It is going to be bomb pops in beer.
Which, yeah, actually has a pretty good spread after we researched it a little bit last night. They do. So typically when I hear that, I'm like, oh, red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was going to grab the red, but
name brand product.
I
got
was
all
like,
kinds of flavors. So.
Oh yeah. So get yourself a bomb pop. You pair with all the flavor variety. If you can find the varieties, that's probably the difficult part, depending on where you go shop.
Probably.
But out of the different varieties, I mean, you could bring almost anything. They had like a banana chocolate one. You know, bring a damn stout.
Or that into a stout.
Yeah.
Most of them, it's just like you're looking at it like, yeah, sours would probably do well. But yeah, lots of different variety with those, and it'll be a cool night for sure with some popsicles on Alex's.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks for having me on here, Miscellaneous.
No problem, man. Glad I could get you the product.
The best beer I'm going to have tonight, I can tell you that.
Pago's got a stash IPA. Another stash IPA. All right, so shout outs for me. This week we doing Rate That Beer. Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Live beer community, beer reviews. Pretty straightforward. You can do a revisit or bring something new if you want. Yeah, just come on my show and do a beer review. Pretty simple. Next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. I believe we're going to do it on Wednesday. Wednesday is starting to get a little hectic with the amount of shows going on. For the most part, we possibly will be doing it on Wednesday. It might change because I know I'm trying to be considerate towards people who show up to my channel, and I know there's a lot of shows going on that night, so it does start to become quite a task to do.
Your show's becoming the drunks that are still awake.
Yeah, right. I know we're drinking liquor at the.
It's a gauntlet, dude.
Literally is something going. If you can make it to my channel,
semi-coherent. Yeah.
Are you good enough to make it to Will It Mix? No, just kidding. But yeah, so it's just Will It Mix. It's a cocktail mixing show. Pretty laid back. You know, if you honestly could come on there, and mix something up and say it's good. Or I'm not a big fan of this. You know, you don't have to sit there and review it and get all into it. I like to kind of describe the flavors that I'm getting. But for the most part, it's open bar, hangout, live stream, just have a good time, you know, making different cocktails. This has brought a couple cool ones from like different rappers, and then Bumpy, you know, did that whole freaking showdown of
Gin Fizz.
It really looked like Bumpy was an actual bartender. That was awesome, you know. So, and then you have doing Cubase and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
The Gin Fizz was fun to make, though, and it tasted.
Yeah, it looked like it was really fun.
Yeah, doing the egg was interesting. I've never done that.
It's egg whites, man. Make it light and fluffy.
You could also do a Cubase. So I just do want to add that. You know, Beerman has done Cubase. He's not a liquor drinker, so if you wanted to mix two different beers together, you can do that as well. Alex has done it, and yeah, that's Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Shout outs. I'll shout out Wildcard Wednesday with Eric. Go check him out. He does his Wildcard Wednesday 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring any type of beer, liquor, malt beverage, and the only thing is don't be a douche. And yeah, thanks for having me tonight, Mr. Lance.
Unless you're a douche.
Examination. So what's that?
I said unless you're a douche, you douche.
Yeah, yeah, right. Unless you're a douche, dude. But cheers, guys.
Cheers. All right,
Cheers.
So I guess shout outs for me by popular request from the chat. Next Thursday we'll do a power hour. I've got it revised. I've got a new method to where we won't get kicked off of the internet, off of the YouTube. Won't get banned worldwide. Got a plan now. So yeah, that'll be what it is. Get some cheap beer, come hang out for an hour, drinking game. Cheap beer. Hence. Beer Man is going to be doing Beer and Cheese Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Open table.
Yes.
I like it. It's great. I got some some new cheeses in there that I've been looking to try, and now I can try them. He will also be doing a Wednesday. He'll be doing I Like Your Style. Does anybody remember what he put up?
Sesame Street.
That's right. Anything Sesame Street, anything that comes to your mind beer related through Sesame Street. I'm probably just going to get a beer that has metal fruit in it.
Cookies. Do anything that has cookies, or you do a beer that sucks.
Open to your interpretation. You can get a beer that tastes like Crash and Grimace, or not Grimace, Oscar the Grouch. Can be your beer.
Would have been the perfect beer.
Yeah. Yeah. And then right after this program, here in about 8 minutes, will be the Hot Seat with Leprechaun TV, Barbecue Banner, interviews, restaurant stories. Go check him out. Good channel, good dude. And last but not least, thanks to the panel for coming on. And we'll give the chat a shout out. It wasn't as large as usual. That's okay. Drunk One was first. Commerce Ozzy in here. Sean the Bon. John and Ellie. This petty comment. It's pity comment. Damn you, John. Cheryl Crawford, as always, says hello to everybody. Great channel supporter. Joey Edibles over there at Square Table Degenerates. Go check him out. He did an interview with Tommy Chong recently. Dope as fuck. Go check it out. Bounty by Observation, good buddy of mine. Love you, mean it, brother. Cheers. And got Josh here. Bing bong. Flacco stopped in. I sent him the Stuff of Legends, but he couldn't hold out. He drank it. This is what we were going to do, Flacco. You were supposed to be here, man. It's okay. Glad you enjoyed it anyways. And that's it for the evening, folks. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Like I always say, stay sipping. Catch you on the next one. Cheers, everybody.